All right, everybody, welcome back to another edition of Out of Bounds. It's been a minute. Rashawn Milligan, we are here joined by Curtis Johnson and our producer slash co-host Malik Brown. Fellas, how are you guys doing?
Oh, doing well, baby. Glad to be home. Glad to be back. Glad to be with my brothers. Malik, what's up, baby?
What's going on, y'all? Doing good, man. Good to be back.
I heard it. And, we came back just in time, kind of the end of the summer, MLB. One of the things I guess could be the opening segment is, Michael Harris over there with the Braves, black player, obviously, that I've talked about the first couple times when he first got called up to the Braves. He just signed his extension. The Braves ripped him off. It's okay, but he got his money, and Money Mike got his money. And I talked to a couple of his friends about that at his signing press conference.
Okay. Was it big money, a little money, or some money, or we just glad that we got brothers playing right now?
It was, I believe it was $72 million for 8 years or something like that. It was like 8 years, $72 million, but it could go up to 10 years, $100 million if he exercises every option at the last 3 years of that deal.
Right. So that's good money, but it's not or that Giancarlo, whatever his name, money, it ain't Yankee money. I guess that's the
exactly. Well, Yankee and Mike Trout and Soto money and all of these guys, all the superstars in the league, they're getting 100, 200 million, like they're getting crazy money. So the fact that this is someone who's going to be, a perennial all-star. He's going to be one of those better players in the league in a couple of years, and everybody can see it. That's why they gave him the deal ahead of time. So, I mean, if anything, they said, some Braves fans, they tried to call it off as, well, it's a risk for the Braves too, because what if he gets hurt in a year? What if he gets hurt? Okay, I was like, all right, blah, blah. Yeah, but for what he's shown as far as when he's played, he's going to be worth a lot of money. He's going to be vast, like disgustingly underpaid when the time comes, but it's all good. It is what it is. Hopefully he gets those endorsements and everything outside to make up for it. But, great dude. Just meeting him. Shout out to the Braves for letting me in the clubhouse. I didn't know. I was joking with Malik. I thought I was going to be banned after the last World Series run or whatever from the clubhouse, but they welcomed me back in, had my old picture from the last time I covered them in 2019 on the little sticker. So salute to the Braves for the access and everything like that. Look forward to continuing to work with y'all and partner with y'all in the future. Thank you to Money Mike Harris. And that's that. So that's what I wanted to open up with on the MLB side of things. Oh, well, I was just talking about where we left off and what has happened since then. As far as the WNBA, Ryan Howard, I was just talking to Kurt about this a couple of days ago. Ryan Howard, who was on one of our first episodes, or at least when she first got here, named Rookie of the Year. Congratulations to Ryan. And Becky Hammond, who has also been mentioned and featured in the show from the Las Vegas Aces, has been named the Coach of the Year. I believe I have gotten James Wade, Black Coach and Black General Manager of the Chicago Sky, was named Executive of the Year. So salute to James Wade, Black man doing his thing. He always talks about how the room for making mistakes is so much smaller for him because you don't really see Black men in women's basketball. So, for him to succeed the way he has, reigning champions for the Chicago Sky, they're about to play in 30 minutes at the time of recording this on their way to defending that championship. Salute to James Wade as well. And that's that. Okay, so that's what has happened since we last recorded. MLB played and WNBA. So now we're at the end of summer. WNBA is ending, and MLB is also getting to the final stretch before they get to playoffs. And football has returned. Football has returned. College football week 0 was this past weekend. Malik and I had the opportunity, the pleasure to go to the Cricket MEAC and SWAC Challenge at Georgia State Stadium, also known as Center Park Bank Stadium, whatever it's called. It's Georgia State Stadium. Malik, I guess just how did you feel about the game? First things first, man.
Man, I mean, I read the recap and they said it was like the longest game in like NEAC SWAC history. And it was like they started at 7:38 and then into 1:18 in the morning. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, pretty good game. I think it was a pretty good game. Well, when we left, I think it was like 20-13. So, but I mean, from the jump, I feel like Alabama State kind of had the advantage from the jump. You know, offense, defense. Howard had a lot of like missed opportunities. You know, but yeah, Alabama State, and of course halftime was amazing. Alabama State did their thing again. It's kind of Alabama State night, you know, from beginning to end, if we're being honest. So, but shout out to Howard though. Shout out to Howard for sure. They did their thing. Can't you know undermine them. But nah, I enjoy what I saw. I enjoy what I saw.
I think, and we were talking about it before we even got in because they didn't let us in that first lightning delay before the opening kickoff. And the thing that was so surprising, we were just discussing like, okay, like they're not going to throw the ball much because it's so wet and it's rainy. Like they threw the ball, and Demetrius Davis, I believe his name is, the quarterback at Alabama State, threw it extremely well. Went like 17 for 21, 100 plus passing yards and a couple of touchdowns to get MVP honors. So they threw the ball well. They didn't just not throw the ball; they threw the ball well, both ends. But you know, Howard's quarterback, he was a bit off. I don't know if he was a freshman or whatever, but salute to you know, the Alabama State coach Eddie Robinson Jr. for getting it done. Obviously, that's a huge name in the SWAC to live under. Eddie Robinson, legendary coach over there at Grambling, the late great. Stadium named after him over there and stuff like that. So for him, his son, to kind of step into those shoes, that shadow, and follow onto coaching, it's a huge thing to follow. And it seems like he's got his kids on straight. I mean, for this to be the first game, they look good. They look good. And you know, I'm glad Malik got to see it as well, of the quality of HBCU football, because it's always been there. I just you know, people haven't given that spotlight. Go ahead, Kurt.
Yeah, just want to speak to that just a little bit with a couple questions. You know, generally, because you guys were eyewitnesses, and over time, you know, we have to applaud the evolution of, you know, how they're doing these showcases. You mentioned the Georgia State University arena, and oftentimes they would try to have these showcases or premier games in, you know, these cities and, you know, in larger venues, and not get the type of turnout that's needed. And also you mentioned that cricket put up the sponsorship for. Well, you know, cricket is really just a part of AT&T, so now that's major sponsorship. And Howard's a big draw. Tuskegee's a big draw. FAM's a big draw. And one of Howard's alumnus is, and it happened around this time, is a guy by the name of Gus Johnson. You know, I was always going to have to throw in Detroit somehow. He's a U of D graduate and a friend of mine. But a little known fact about Gus, not only, you know, being the voice of the Knicks and the voice of the Final Four and the voice of Big Ten football every now and again, but just for a stint, and I wish it was longer, but just for a stint, Gus Johnson was the voice of Madden football. So, you know, we're talking about historically Black colleges. We're talking about, you know, famous people. We're talking about how the our people are moving forward, and you know, just to be the voice of Madden, you know, it's just one of those little things that is really a huge thing, and it was kind of something I never thought I'd see in my lifetime, particularly somebody that I know. It's just, you know, just an aside.
No, 100%. But also, where did Howard come in to play right there, Kurt? Like, I was not, like, I thought you were about to say Gus was also briefly the voice of Howard football or something.
No, Gus was a graduate from Howard.
He was so he was the voice of UD after graduating from Howard.
No, he went to University of Detroit High School. So
the high school's name was University of Detroit.
Yes. Yes, you have UD Jays, which is the middle school. Then UD High School which was the high school. And then, of course, the University of Detroit.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, UOD High School is a school that Cassius Winston went to.
Right.
That premier point guard from MSU,
Okay.
Michigan State University.
Yes. And Washington Wizards point guard.
Well, there you go.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like in Louisiana, like they have one of their schools is like LSU Tech, and that's the name of the high school.
Right. And listen, artists, that's one of the benefits. Not only getting the breaking news, not only getting the stars before their stars, and celebrating the individuals that may get left out, listening and looking at rolling out. But we always highlight. Because you mentioned about the basketball, and we brought on Megan Thee Stallions. I don't want to. What was would handler be the right word?
Label
manager. Well, yeah. So look at rolling out if you want to know what's going on first in a quaint, intimate, and real fashion.
And hoop, hoop. There it is. But there was someone else, Tanisha Wright. I also wanted to shout her out, who finished up runner-up in the Coach of the Year. She is also someone that we've had interviewed on here. So like Kirk said, the people are here and everything like that. Just pay attention. The next thing I wanted to move on to, but wait, did we get everything out from the game yesterday, from the cricket? Okay, cool. All right, moving on. Oh, FAMU pushed UNC to the limit. That was also an entertaining thing to watch from afar. And they're missing half of their team right now due to academic ineligibility for violations, and they still push UNC to the limit. Next week they have JSU, I love, over there in Miami for once again what bowl is that? The Orange Blossom Classic, which they faced off against each other last year as well.
And just because you hear FAMU and UNC, let's be clear here, okay? Let's be perfectly clear. We are talking about the University of North Carolina Tar Heels, the same school that Michael Jordan went to, the same school that lost to Kansas, as I told you they were going to do in the championship game this year. And also the same school that arguably graduated eventually the greatest outside linebacker in my lifetime and y'all's. Lawrence Taylor went to the University of North Carolina.
You saw I mouthed the words. I was like, Julius Peppers ? Like, it was like, no.
And he LT, Lawrence Taylor. Bill Belichick said he was the greatest football player that he ever coached, and he coached Tom Brady.
That's
rest in peace to LT as well. Go ahead, Malik.
No, I was saying that's legendary.
100%. But obviously the thing to kind of watch in HBCU football this year is that kid over there, man, the freshman over there at Jackson State, Travis Hunter. He's gonna be spring game. He made it look too easy. The spring game, he made it look too easy against his own teammates. But it's also, I think, just in general, it's not a one-person game; it's a team game, and that's gonna be a close game. Last year it was 7-6. Jackson State won 7-6 because they scored the extra point. That it was literally that close, or it was 9-7. It was something like that. But the fact that the game was that close, and FAM just pushed UNC to the limit, and Jackson State is coming off of a loss, which people always want to skip over when talking about Jackson State football, against South Carolina State, and they got spanked in a Celebration Bowl. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a good game. Then a lot of people might just kind of write off anyone Jackson State is facing this season. But we can move on now to the NFL.
Can I hit that
go
one
ahead,
more
Kurt.
time, though, just real quick? Is there the possibility I mean, we just evolve, and things are happening that we never really thought could happen. At least I never thought. Is
The
there
NFL,
really,
y'all. The NFL. Let's move
is,
on. Next
is
time.
there is there really an opportunity that people could start hating on Jackson State? You know, like they trying to be a dream team. You know,
I
recruiting
mean,
everybody. Like they
yeah,
the evil
I definitely
empire,
think
like
that
the
they
New York
could. I
Yankees.
think they've already kind of had that role
I
the
mean,
last
that
couple of years because the air that that they're what I'm saying, like the air that they might give off and the new era that they've had, kind of just the wording, the vernacular used and everything like that. It was always kind of from day one that you guys, like as in you guys as in HBCU football, wasn't worth watching. We're gonna make it worth watching to the masses. And to have that from the jump, I think a lot of other programs took that personally, and they didn't like it, and that's why every time they get beat, people are gonna talk their talk because
bro, say it because I keep doing this because it took all of 3 games for me to start rooting against them.
well,
It
I
took
mean,
3
it's just
games,
like
and
they've
I was
already
like,
embraced that role. So I mean, this is
anybody
what
but
it is.
Jackson State University. Yeah.
All
And
right,
I don't
Malik.
know why, man. It was just like that.
Any words, Malik? All right, cool. Well, let's move on to the NFL. NFL season is starting. I guess I'll just leave it open. What storylines are you looking forward to most this season? What teams are you watching for? What are you kind of looking forward to this season?
Hey, I'm trying to see a little fear of the black quarterback. Yeah, I want to see a lot of that. Geno Smith was getting a start out in Seattle Seahawks. I thought, his. I mean, I didn't see that coming in 100 years. Looking for the quarterback merry-go-round and up there in Cleveland with the Brownies. Justin Fields, I think he's going to have a breakout season. Lamar Jackson, I mean, he's much-watched TV, and Patrick Mahomes really has something to prove now. So it's going to, just get your popcorn. The black quarterback is going to be on top this year. And you guys, between Marcus Mariota and Desmond, they look like they're going to be fun to watch. I'm really, but really what can happen that's going to be of significance is this. So many name brand players are getting cut right now for various reasons. And, let's face it, a couple NFL players on any team can make the difference. I'll give you, for instance, the Lions cut Robert Quinn a couple years ago. And now I'm watching some tracker, and they're saying the Bears are saying he's the 47th best player in the league, ahead of the likes of, brand name people. So, folks are reinventing themselves. Folks can, because, everybody can pick a top 10 guy during a draft. Where you make your team better is with locker room guys and, seasoned veterans and, that rookie or that third-year player that you can coach up. Just kind of like in college football. A perfect example is Kyle Van Noy.
Cool. So storylines I got, definitely Raiders, with Devontae Adams going. I want to see, how they work. I think the Raiders are going to be good, but that's definitely a team that I will really want to watch every Sunday. Definitely. And I had another team that I was looking. I got a sleeper team. I got the Chargers. I got the Chargers as a sleeper team going to the Super Bowl. Justin Herbert coming back. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. They added Khalil Mack on defense. I think they got one of the best defenses in the league. So I'm watching them. I'm watching the Raiders. Who else am I watching?
Malik.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be fair for Joey Bosa.
It's not.
And Khalil Mack to be on the same team.
It's not. And they got a nice secondary too. So
especially with somebody from Detroit, Buddha, Desmond King. Hey.
So I'm definitely
King and Derwin James, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Derwin James. Yeah. Yep. I want to see if what the Bengals did last year was a fluke. I want to see if they can come back. I don't know Super Bowl, but at least in contention. Joe Burrow has showed us since LSU that he's a dog. So you still got that wide receiver core over there. Defense is still solid, but I just want to see if they can do it again. Let's see if they can go on another run.
Well, let's talk about Joe Burrows just a little bit, because remember I was saying, it's going to be the black quarterback.
Yeah.
Well, I could include Joe Burrows in that a lot too, because he's almost black.
Look, I said
brother tendencies.
You got
brother tendencies. So Joe Burrows is my man. And Matt Stafford's got some brother tendencies too, being in Detroit. So yeah.
Well, what about Matt Ryan?
What?
No, Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan was in Atlanta for 15 years. If Matt Stafford gets it for being in Detroit, I think Matt Ryan has to get it for being in Atlanta for almost.
Yeah, good.
Man, I don't know that dude. He's from Boston too. So,
God.
At least Matt Stafford was from Georgia, but Matt Ryan was from Boston. Yeah, so.
Oh no, Matt's from Philly. I forgot.
I thought he went to Boston College, didn't he?
He did. He went to BC, but he's from Philly.
Oh.
And like Stafford's from Texas. He went to Georgia, but he's from Texas. So
yeah, I still trip out with that. Which is kind of cool that Matt Stafford, Clayton Kershaw connection. Them growing up together, playing baseball and all of that. That's rather neat.
100%. There was something else. Oh yeah, with Jacoby Brissett. How is Jacoby Brissett, speaking of black quarterbacks, always the backup quarterback at these places that don't have their starting quarterback available? Like literally every year, I was talking to Malik about this a couple weeks ago. Jacoby Brissett is always there, like extremely conveniently, dating all the way back to when Tom Brady and Jimmy G went down. It was always Jacoby. Jacoby's here. Jacoby was there in Indiana when they needed it. Like, he's just always around.
Yeah, he's the bridesmaid, and he has all the tools. One would think, coming out of the Belichick system, is always a plus. The thing is I just hope he does well, because if he does well, then maybe he can get some of that kind of money that that Matt Castle got, and that guy that played in Green Bay and went to the next team, or Scott Mitchell. These are all names from the past, but if you really know football, you kind of know about these people. But what it was bridesmaids guys, that stepped up, once somebody got hurt, or because of some situation, did well enough, to get their money.
And that made me look up where Teddy Bridgewater was, and he's with the Dolphins apparently. So he's on a different team every year. But I feel like Teddy's that exact guy that you're talking about. He has the tools.
And that's something I want to look out for. I don't think they're gonna do much, but I like the tool in Tyreek Hill thing. I want to see if it works. I really want to see if it works.
Yeah, but it's to it. I don't like Alabama quarterbacks. Man, I ain't like Alabama. Yeah, I ain't like Alabama quarterbacks since Joe Willie Namath.
Well, we got Bryce Young coming up next.
Oh, wait a minute, Ken Stabler went there too. So
you don't like Bryce Young?
Nah, man, he ain't gonna do nothing.
Bryce Young is amazing. He's just like 5'9". That's the only, I don't know if that's gonna work in the NFL. But I don't know. There's been plenty of times where like an undersized guy, Russell Wilson, but I think even Russell Wilson's got a little bit more height on him, so I don't
So
know.
when they gonna get rid of that deal always talking about somebody's height and somebody's hands? At least they ain't talking about I want to look at their teeth or nothing like that. Because
I mean, you have to think about it because you think if the line is 6'5", all in the NFL, and you're 5'9", like
yeah, but Fran Tarkenton, before the advent of he held all the records at one time, including losing the most Super Bowls. And he was a little guy. I mean, Lenny Dawson,
well, maybe if he was taller, he would win all those Super Bowls.
Yeah, he was a small guy. Oh, there you go. We always, Malik, does it always have to digress to the lowest common denominator?
No, Kurt, it is not.
Oh, by the way, in the backdrop is sunny Fort Lauderdale.
Wow, that's a view.
Well, listening audience, if you work hard and love the Lord, good things will happen.
Ashe. But let me think of Malik Willis. That's another kid I'm looking at.
Oh yeah, he's on fire.
Yo, he did one of those side little Pat Mahomes, whatever it was, side throws, and I was like, oh my gosh, man, and he's running too, man. That kid is it, man. I really wanted the Falcons to get him, but I mean,
right. And what may happen with Malik Willis. And I'm glad that, I put that Lord out there. You thought about Malik because he went to Liberty, which is a Christian school. I hope that either they use him like they should, or he's going to come back and haunt them like Brett Favre came back and haunted Atlanta. That guy's the real deal. That guy's the real deal.
3 rounds. I couldn't believe it. It was the first round, I was a bit shocked. Second round, I was like, wow, okay, I guess they're just not going quarterback. The third round, when they got a quarterback and it wasn't him, I was like, that's a choice.
Yeah. It's the stain and the stench of Achilles Smith and Jamarcus Russell. If we want to do some real investigative reporting, I really would like to see where those individuals who drafted them two guys' NFL careers are. Because everybody ain't going to be Matt Patricia. Matt Patricia, stunk up Detroit. Now he's DCing the Patriots like nothing happened. The only thing difference is he trimmed his beard a little bit and he ain't got that pencil hanging out of his hat all the time.
Oh my God.
That's the only difference. No, y'all know he had that. And speaking of Madden, they even had that pencil hanging out his head in Madden.
I was about to ask you, you're on a Patricia guy, it sounds like?
Oh, man. He hurt my feelings. At least y'all had Jerry Glanville.
Yeah, Glanville. And that, I guess the legacy of that was not paying coach and, trading Brett Favre because that was also on Brett, for not getting right. They tried to let him get right and he just kept going down to that pub, so I mean, it is what it is. But I also want to ask you, I'm also looking forward to Justin Fields, like Kurt said, not necessarily the most eventful season as a rookie. He came out hot, had his growing pains. So I want to see how he kind of bounces back from that, how he progresses. Does he improve? Does he continue to grow as a quarterback and as a player? Or does he kind of just level out as an average guy, So I definitely want to see that. What else am I looking forward to? True. Green Bay, I guess. If I feel like Aaron Rodgers has kind of shown the world his true colors now, and at the tail end of his career, I'm just interested in like how is his play going to be? Is his play going to remain the same, or is he like is some of that weirdness off the field and openness about using drugs is that going to leak onto the field this year as he
Well,
gets older?
Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers reminds me of LeBron James without all the championships. It doesn't, every year, it seems like he can play 5 more years. I mean, I had to double check when they said that dude's been in the league 17 years.
Dang, 17.
Well, you have to think because he sat behind Brett the first couple of years, so you don't consider those years that like you don't count them. You just count like the first year you saw him, which was like 08.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, Tom Brady looks a little longer in the tooth. He looks like he's progressively is aging, he's maturing. And then he speaks to the things that he has to do to keep at this level. Aaron Rodgers, all he has is drama, controversy, and challenges, and he just keeps playing like he's been in the league 8 or 9 years, man. I'm straight up serious, man. And he's been
went on
hurt.
a podcast stoned, like on drugs, on a podcast, and like you can go out and just at least up to this point, he's just done what he's always done. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know how sustainable that can be. Like with Tom Brady, you can tell. I feel Tom Brady's a better comparison to LeBron because it's like LeBron obviously take care of his body, and we see how he take care of his body. Like he talks about taking naps, he talks about going to the ice chamber, he talks about wrapping up, and you see him wrapping up every time he hits the bench. With Tom, you see the exact same kind of thing of he's showing him on the stretching thing and all the things that he has to do now. The older he gets to keep playing. With Aaron, you don't see that.
Right.
Like you see this conspiracy theorists talking about how he take this little thing that and made him immunized from COVID-19 before getting COVID-19. Like it's a whole different thing. So that's why I don't know how long this is gonna last.
Richard, I agree with you, and I need to make myself a little bit clearer. The similarities that I was trying to speak to between Aaron Rodgers and LeBron is that each beginning of each season and towards the middle of the season, them dudes look like they can play 5 more years. That's
I got you on that.
And you're 100
on field, on court.
Yeah, you're 100 when you made that correlation of LeBron and Brady as it relates to taking care of their body and the business savvy. There's some similarities there. There's no comparison though as it relates to who's the babe magnet though. Who
is drum roll?
Yeah, Brady doing the GQ and got Giselle and
on top of the world. On top of the world, baby. On top of the world.
Right. And I think Brady get more respect by his teammates than LeBron. I mean, everybody wants to play with LeBron James, but people play for Tom Brady.
That's crazy.
What? Did I say something profound?
I'm saying
did I
say something wrong?
Hey, Malik, did I say something profound or is this something don't get chopped in the head?
I mean, I've never heard anybody talk down on LeBron. From
you think Isaiah Stewart wants to play for LeBron? Kirk
memory right now.
Malik, you said you ain't never heard nobody talk about LeBron. I said, where you get your hair cut?
They got Deshaun Stevenson, Ricky Davis before he got drafted.
Oh, see, yeah, like I said, recent memory.
Recent memory, the person who has talked down LeBron in the league
as a teammate.
Oh, as a teammate.
What did you say, teammate? Well, Kurt said, it seemed like Tom's teammates play for him, and LeBron, different story. But I'm like, I ain't
want to
never
play
heard
with him.
in recent memory. I haven't heard anybody that played with LeBron say anything bad about him. In recent memory.
Yeah, I mean, but when's the last time LeBron won something? During the COVID, right?
Oh no, we gotta no.
So is Isaiah Stewart, he want to play for LeBron?
Beef stew.
Hey, let me share something with y'all. Y'all trying to crack those jokes about beef stew. If LeBron had beef stew and Patrick Beverley, they'd never lose a game.
I gotta stop that. Dogs don't win championships. Like, a dog can only get you so far. Like, this whole thing of like, he got that dog in him, so they're gonna win the champ. Like, that's not how basketball or sports works. Like, you need talent.
Kurt said they never lose a game.
Not with beef stew and Patrick Beverley.
I mean, they already got one of them.
Yeah, that's all they needed. How I am, man. The guys who win you the championships is them cats like that Bobby kid up in Milwaukee.
Josh Powell.
Yeah, well, there you go. Josh Powell. Shout out, Rolling Out Magazine.
PJ Tucker.
There you go. Robert Ory.
Big shot Rob.
Yeah.
All right, you guys ready to go through these divisions?
We need to.
All right, let's do it. Pull it up. All right, cool. Who do you guys have winning the East, the AFC East?
Bills. Easy.
You said AFC East?
Yes, sir.
Easy.
Oh, Buffalo Bills.
Easy.
I'm with y'all. Buffalo Bills. Okay, AFC West.
Chargers.
Raiders? No, Chargers. Yes, Chargers.
Broncos country. Let's ride.
Oh,
I think I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. And the AFC North.
Ravens. Oh, nah, Bengals.
Yeah, the Bengals.
All right, I'm gonna go with the Bengals as well, because Lamar still doesn't even have that contracting situated yet, which I think is a kind of an underrated storyline because he wasn't even in pads this preseason. He was just in his uniform. I think that's an interesting thing to kind of watch out for.
But you know what I don't like about the Ravens?
Go ahead.
The Ravens are getting to be, to me, too much penny pinchers. Too smart for their own britches, because they should have never let Matthew Jude or whatever his name get out of there. They shouldn't have let Hollywood Brown get out of there.
Hollywood was big.
I think Bowser used to play there too, Tyrus Bauer. They let too many, and they just didn't start with them, man. I think them jokers are so cheap they might not even pay Ray Lewis if they could have found a way to weasel out of it.
They pretty close to it. The modern day Ray Lewis for the Baltimore Ravens is Lamar, and they're not paying him. So they're pretty, like, I guess, equal in significance with Baltimore Ravens.
They let Chuck get out of there too. That's safety. Yeah. Heck, they even let dude had to come back for a minute. And play for the Rams. What was his name? That free safety?
Weddle? Was it?
Eric Weddle. Yeah.
Eric Weddle. Yeah.
But that's the North. That's the AFC. Let's go into the NFC.
Oh,
NFC East.
You missed the division.
I missed the division?
Yeah.
What division did I miss?
AFC South.
The South. Okay. who they have? The Texans and
Titans.
a bunch of okay.
Oh, that's the worst division in football, huh?
Yeah, I didn't know the Texans are in that division. Yeah.
Jaguars.
Yeah. You
Colts.
don't even have to show the listing in the audience,
Oh,
man.
I
It'll
think
be
it's the
the
Colts.
Titans.
I got the no, I got the Colts. I got the Colts.
All right, somebody write this down.
I got the Titans. Oh yeah, man, Matty
Malik just
Ice,
want to
man.
be Malik just want to be different.
Nah. I think the Colts got a legit argument.
Pulling for his guy Matt Ryan, man. He's pulling for his guy Matt Ryan.
The Titans don't got no offensive weapons except Derrick Henry.
I'm gonna put in a detail for you to go to Indianapolis.
I forgot AJ Brown is gone.
AJ gone.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Derrick Henry's still there, and some receivers to be named later. Y'all didn't know who AJ Brown was.
Oh no,
I did.
Now, when they drafted him, we all thought the kid from Western was gonna be good. I don't even know where he's playing at now. Corey Davis.
Corey Davis, he on the Jets, ain't he?
Yeah.
Well, he was on the Jets. Let's see.
Okay.
Yeah, we thought it was gonna be all over when they got Juan Jones. What's his name? Juan Jones.
Who?
Julio. Yeah, Julio stuck up the
Oh,
joint.
here you go. I'm thinking you talking about a real person. You talking about Julio.
Roll Tide Roll by way of the Atlanta Falcons. Roll Tide.
I'm done with you, Kurt.
I can't stand Alabama. I can't believe I picked Derrick Henry, man, but the dude just too good. Roll Tide.
I think I'll go with Indianapolis too.
That's why I don't like that's why I'm glad y'all didn't even mention Miami. Ooey, mooey, fresh and fruity.
Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah, say his name, Rashard.
Tua Tagovailoa.
That's gonna get you an Emmy one day, baby.
All right. Let's go to the NFC, man. NFC, the most televised division in all of the game, the NFC East, also known as the Fox division, because that's all Fox shows.
I know.
Who do you guys have coming out the NFC East?
I'm gonna go Eagles. I'm gonna go Philly.
I want to pick the Cowboys, but they always find a way to mess it up.
I'm with you, Kurt.
CeeDee Lamb gonna have a breakout season though, but I got Eagles.
You know I don't like Philly. You know why? Because Jalen Hurts went to Alabama.
Oh my!
Even though he graduated from Oklahoma, but he still went to Alabama.
Jesus.
Roll Tide.
Jesus Christ.
I think I'm going with EAGLES, Eagles. I think I got to go with Philly as well.
I'm gonna go with the Cowboys.
You know, I didn't pick Tennessee in the AFC because AJ Brown left, so I'm gonna pick Philly in the NFC because AJ Brown arrived.
NFC West. Oh.
So, all right. Who do we have in the NFC West?
I got Rams.
It's got to be the Rams, especially with D-Hop gone for 8 weeks, 7 weeks.
Yeah, Rams.
I mean, but you know the Cardinals can challenge. So mark my word.
I'm gonna go with the Rams. I'm super team Rams.
And what about the 49ers?
Trey Lance. I don't know what Trey Lance about.
I know. I was talking to someone at the conference in Vegas, the NABJ conference. They were like, I'm a 49ers fan. I was like, oh, like, sorry, like you guys rebuilding, right? Because you guys have a young quarterback. They're like, nah, they went to the NFC Championship last year and they had us. And I was like, wow, they did. Like, they had the most, when you talk about forgettable seasons, that's a forgettable season. I had no clue. I forgot all about it. But
Debo, Kittle.
I'm going Rams. I mean, super team, you got to go. NFC North, who do you guys have?
Go Pat, go.
Hey, quietly, the Rams, Sean McVay, their front office, I don't see how they can do it, man. How do you get Bobby Wagner?
And
How do
Allen
you
Robinson.
you know, they had Von Miller for the renting him for a season. You know, they got
they do like the Yankees, but in baseball
know.
there's no cap.
Warriors.
So like it doesn't make sense how they could do that in the sport where there's a cap.
They got Allen Robinson, who's from Orchard Lake St. Mary's, Detroit area high school.
Brother. Oh, brother. Everyone's from Detroit.
Who they have at nose tackle, Kurt? Who they have at nose tackle?
Aaron Donald, who should have got drafted by Detroit instead of Eric Ebron.
And
Wait, y'all took Eric Ebron over Aaron Donald?
Yeah, man. And guess where Eric Ebron played tight end at? The University of North Carolina. You know, this is a live show. So for anybody that think these people, you know, keep me around just because of my gray hair, it is also because of my expertise as it relates to the NFL.
But who else do they have on the line, Kurt?
Who?
They got Sue, don't they?
No, they got Sue again.
Who's still on the team, isn't he?
I thought Sue was playing for the Buccaneers.
Is Sue on Tampa Bay?
He's a free
Yeah,
agent.
that's what he played last year.
Oh, he's a free agent? No, so no one signed him.
Are you serious?
Sue was a free agent.
Sue's out the league.
Yeah, the
Out the league.
last update about him was that the Raiders were interested in him a week ago, but the price is an issue.
How much he want?
Shoot, probably 10.
10 million.
Probably want 1 year 10 or something like that. Probably
He might be staying at home.
He said he gonna be staying at home.
Watching the games with Cap.
I know, man.
He's looking for $9 million a year.
He may very well be eating. He may very well be eating fish and chips.
No. All right, I think I have
What they should.
coming out of the North. I think the Vikings are always a sleeper pick in this division.
It's all up to Kirk Cousins, man.
They're literally always in that race for some reason.
I got the Detroit Lions until the third game of the season. Then I get to change.
I think I'm gonna say, is Green Bay the safest pick? But it's just such a boring pick. I think I'll go with the Vikings.
Bro, the Green Bay Packers is gonna win that division.
They always win by default every year.
Every year.
I mean,
I'm gonna go with the Vikings.
League,
Minnesota
you know,
Vikings.
when this show blows up and you get your intern, I would ask the question: how many times in the last 10 years has the Green Bay Packers won 10 games or more? And I bet you it was 11 times.
Probably so.
11 times in the last 10 years, Green Bay has won 10 games or more.
It's crazy. Crazy consistency in the Rodgers era.
Right.
Crazy consistency in the Favre era. And then the NFC South, what do you guys have? Oh, no. You said the AFC South was? No, they have Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Tampa.
I'll tell you who it ain't gonna be.
All right.
The Atlanta Falcons.
Kurt, let's settle this now. Let's settle this now, Kurt. The Falcons have a better record than the Detroit Lions by the end of this season.
The Detroit Lions.
The Atlanta Falcons will have more wins than the Detroit Lions at the end of the season.
The Detroit Lions.
Yes.
Yeah, I got the Lions.
That's cool. I know you do.
All right. Well, take us home, Rashard. I got my king. I got my king of the week.
Okay, all right. I guess the last thing, real quick. Well, Commanders, quick rundown. Commanders running back Brian Robinson was shot multiple times in an apparent carjacking attempt, as reported by Adam Schefter. He is all right. They're now non-life threatening. So that is that. I guess best wishes and prayers all up to him and his family
Yeah,
as
prayers.
he makes his recovery.
And
And then
what college did he go to, Rashard?
I have no clue. This is the
Alabama.
first time I've heard of him.
He went to Alabama.
Yeah.
Man. But you know,
Prayers to. I said all that stuff about the tie, but when it comes to stuff like this, you know, we all one big family and we all God's children. So prayers and speedy recovery to the brother Robinson, and we're praying with, you know, the Crimson Tide community for a speedy recovery.
100%,
full
no doubt. No, 100%, no doubt. And also in other news in the NFL, Matt Araiza, Araiza, however you want to pronounce it, also known as Punk God, excuse me, is in some trouble with God as he has been accused of gang rape by a 17-year-old when he was 22 at a house party with a high school senior. And she went to the police the day after the reported incident. And while, you know, of course, he hasn't pled guilty to, you know, kind of rape, he has admitted that he had, you know, intercourse with her at 22 and she was 17. So regardless, not the best look. And the Bills have finally cut him after, you know, America got wind and criticized the Bills for drafting him, even after knowing this months before they drafted him.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's it's just, I mean, Rashard, you know, we can do a whole show on it, and you know, we just reporting the facts on this one.
All right, well, I'll respect it. Malik, any words from you on that situation?
I mean, the only thing I'm just curious on. I mean, if the Bills knew, why did they draft him? But guess, yeah, I guess we'll just leave.
I think we all know why. The NFL doesn't care about women, just like America doesn't care about women. So that's that. Last thing, King of the Week.
Well, I got my king of the week,
Go ahead, Kurt.
and it's somebody from Detroit,
Oh boy.
and it's my great nephew. His name is Josiah Williams. They have a perennial top whatever high school team that my wife attended to called Cass Technical High School, perennial state football powerhouse. Donovan Peoples Jones went there, and Mikey Weber went there. All these famous people went there. And they had a multiple day game, believe it or not. It got so scantless that they had to stop the game because it was 15 fights in the stadium. They canceled, they postponed the game, moved it to an undisclosed location to finish the second half. And Southfield A&T won 56-54 on a 2-point conversion. And my great nephew, Josiah Williams, number 75 for A&T, Southfield A&T, led a crushing block that opened up the hole for the guy to scamper through to get the 2-point conversion. And this is probably the greatest play and the greatest game in Southfield A&T's history. Go Warriors. Go Josiah.
Respect.
Go Josiah.
Respect. I'm gonna kind of go off the wall. I feel like we could have touched on this, but it's very funny topic. I'm gonna go King of the Week. I'm gonna go Giannis. It's been a lot of negative discourse about Giannis this past week, specifically from Gilbert Arenas, saying that he doesn't know how to train his body. He's not a superstar. Phil Handy was on there as well, talking the same thing. But I think.
Wait a minute. Malik, I missed that. What was said?
Oh man. Well, Gilbert Arenas got his own podcast or his show or whatever, and Phil Handy, I think he's still one of the Lakers assistants.
Yeah.
Was on the show, And it was this clip. Basically, they were talking about, the gap between, I guess, like great players and like, I guess like good players and great players or whatever. And they were talking about Giannis, and they were basically talking about, he doesn't know how to play the game. Like, he doesn't know how to read the game. He doesn't know how to train his body. Talking about, he only plays 32, 34 minutes. LeBron plays 37 minutes and he's 37. Allen Iverson played 40 minutes. Just downgrading all of Giannis's accomplishments up, and he's gone. Oh no, Kurt's still here. But yeah, but no, I mean Giannis, what? 2-time MVP, defensive player of the year, won a championship, got a 50 ball in the last game of the NBA Finals. I mean, what else does the guy have to prove to you? Like, I feel like I don't know. I mean, you got to put some respect on his name. I mean, he's out there doing, putting on for his country right now for the FIBA qualifiers. I just don't see how you can throw much dirt on Giannis' name. But I mean, it seems like this conversation comes up every year. Every year with Giannis, it comes up with him, or, oh, he's not a superstar, he's a sidekick, blah, blah, blah. Like, I feel like he's kind of debunked all those rumors. So I just want to give him King of the Week.
And there it goes, Kurt.
He's going now.
I would say honorable mention. First things first, honorable mention to everybody out there. Like Malik just mentioned, this, in the FIBA qualifiers right now, playing overseas in Europe. Those highlights look so intense. Like, I know people playing their hearts out for like their countries and their packed crowds. I think that there was a record for the Giannis versus Jokic game of attendance at a FIBA qualifying game, which was 19,000 for that game. And, Jokic had Giannis guarding him in the corner, and he hit him with the step back fadeaway three, falling out of, it's just crazy. They're playing a high level of basketball over there. Danilo Gallinari, ended his season over there, or whatever, playing hard. So, I mean, it's all just, salute to everybody out there going all out for their country, professionals in a time where, people bag on professionals about the efforts they give in non-NBA regular season or non-NBA playoff games and stuff like that. When they, get on them for load management and all this, these guys are going full on out in the off season for their countries, and they're playing, more important than I think any of their NBA games, to be honest. So salute to all of them for that. Another honorable mention, Joe Johnson. He won the AEBL championship with ISO Yoga. He missed the week that I came to watch their team specifically. Jose Alvarado filled in for him, and it was all right. But I wanted to watch Joe versus Millsap that week. So salute to Joe Johnson winning that, and kind of doing the hammer at the United game today at the time we're recording this. And then my actual King of the Week is someone I already mentioned and gave him his flowers earlier, but James Wade. Just making sure we give James Wade his flowers, because that's something that could definitely go a bit under the radar, unnoticed. Coaches get so much, like referees, they get so much blame for what they don't do well. So I think when they do well, we have to give them that acknowledgement, stuff like that. So salute to James Wade. I feel like he's a bit underrated. We don't talk about him enough, just in the kind of sports community, what he's doing as a Black man. So yeah, that's my King of the Week. And Queen of the Week?
Shoot. Gotta go Ryan, right? Gotta go Ryan.
Shout out Ryan.
Ryan. I guess, of course, coach, for being runner up. Yeah, gotta go those two ladies.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I was thinking about someone who had like a good game this week or something like that, but when you said Ryan, I mean, you have to salute Ryan for what she did. Yeah, Jewel Lloyd went off today, and put the team on. Chelsea Gray went off too. Like, that was a great back and forth. But I think I'm gonna go with Ryan, just because you had to think about where the Atlanta Dream were last season. For those of you who don't follow like the WNBA that closely, the Atlanta Dream, their leading scorer and only All-Star last season was fighting outside of a food truck and told on herself and bragged about it on YouTube after the season ended. They had one of their main players, Crystal Bradford. She was in the video seen kicking, ironically, because her season ended with a leg injury later on in the season. She was also in the video. And their other leading scorer, Kennedy Carter, who was the number 3 pick for them the year before, she was trying to fight the players and arguing with the players in the locker room, and it got so bad to the point where she didn't come back out on the court one second half, and she just didn't sit on the bench for the rest of the year. She was suspended. They didn't really tell much about what was going on, and that's what happened. She ended up getting traded in the offseason. So the Dream were just a dismay. They didn't have any type of direction. The play calling was horrible. Salute to all the coaches. They had 3 interim coaches in the same season. Their actual coach left days before the season started. It was just bad basketball. One of the worst seasons that you'll ever possibly see. I know someone was talking about the Phoenix Mercury went through so much this season more than any other team because their starting center was in a Russian prison all year, but the Atlanta Dream last year have something to say about that for sure. So for them to go from 8-24 last season and to have the season they had last year and to turn that around to pressing to make a playoff spot the last day of the season with an all-star, a rookie of the year, #1 pick. And, Ryan just does all the right things. And she always kind of, defers to others when people want to give her praise, speaking verbally. She has a quiet confidence where she knows she's the best and stuff like that. But out loud, she always just puts the attention on one of her teammates. And, you got to salute that character. So shout out to Ryan for being the rookie of the year on and off the floor. And and for bringing excitement back to Atlanta basketball.
Right.
That's it. That's all I got. Is that all for you, Malik?
That's it. That's all I got.
All right. Well, we appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. For Kurt, who has just dropped. Until next time, we will see you guys next week on Out of Bounds. Take care.